You recognize this stuff?
It's ice?
Ice.
I think it's possible to burn ice.
Sure. How?
Gasoline.
Put gas on it?
Gasoline.
Gasoline. Everybody's a fan of gasoline.
We're not getting anything from this guy.
Who'd like some water? You thirsty, Katie? Are you thirsty?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Derek. Hey, can I borrow some of your water for a sec? Okay, I'll take some water because I want to put it into my little cylinder here. Okay. Who's heard of calcium carbide? Carbide is a really cool chemical. It's got a couple of fascinating properties that allow it to be used in something called a carbide lamp. I'm going to add some calcium carbide to the water. Let's see what happens. Oh, what's going on?
Bubbling.
Chemical reaction? Let's do a little test to see what's going on with that chemical reaction, okay? You ready?
Oh my gosh. That means there's something special in there.
This is something weird going on here, right? Okay, we had water in this and we got a small little explosion. This is something called carbide. Let's try it. Let's go one step further here. Who wants to burn some ice?
I do.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of this substance called carbide. It's a mixture of calcium and carbon. It's just very sort of ordinary looking stuff. You look carefully when it starts to meet the water.
It starts to eat the ice.
Now, do you want to put the burner in there?
Oh my gosh.
And what happened?
It's on fire. It caught on fire.
Is that burning ice? What's going on, James?
It's on fire.
When was the last time you saw a burning bowl of ice?
I can't say I've ever seen a bowl of burning ice.
We've got a chemical reaction there between the water and the carbide that produces a gas called acetylene. Have you ever heard of acetylene, Marina? You guys have heard of acetylene? Yeah. Where do you use acetylene?
Torches.
Torches. And what you've got here is where the ice itself is part of the fuel, part of the chemical reactions generating the acetylene with the calcium carbide. If you were a miner in 1900, you might have had a carbide lantern that used water and carbide carefully mixed together to produce a stable flame. And that would have been your light source. We know how to make acetylene, and acetylene burns. So maybe we've got a fuel that we can build a primitive street rocket here. Hey, who wants to build? Come on, Drew, give it up. You want to make a rocket?
Is it legal?
We've got rocket fuel here. This is our launch pad. We'll take a little bit of our carbide. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use my high voltage source here to make a spark. Okay, I'm going to make a spark, but I'm going to make a spark inside a chamber full of acetylene. So let's turn this upside down. 3, 2, 1. At the end of the day, what's the chemical reaction that we saw in action here? What are the two things we put together? Derek?
The carbide and the water.
What happens when you put calcium carbide in water?
Acetylene.
Where would you find acetylene?
Rolling and selling torches.
And if you were a miner 100 years ago, you might have used that reaction to light your way underground. When acetylene gets near a source of ignition, what happens?
It ignites.
Absolutely, it goes boom.